everybody. Yes, sir. We got Chris Vila in the building. Yes, sir. Sports Dog in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get the likes up, fellas. Get the likes up. I see, okay, we got the likes maxed up. We got 4 people in the building. Yes, sir. So this video was very similar to my guy's video. Remember I basically talked about 24 guys that were my guys. Now, listen, I switched this up a little bit according to the recent news, according to what's going on with football. So I just want to give y'all this video right after the week 3 preseason game. I think sometimes you have to redo videos to get it fresh. You got new members coming in. They're not going to really go back into the bag and look for your old videos. So sometimes I have to redo videos and a vacuum to make sure that y'all have the tools that y'all need. And I know a lot of you are drafting tonight, so I wanted to do this video. Yes, sir. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. See, we got Sports Doc. He says TD 100. My draft is today at 6:00 p.m. 17 rounds. Quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, flex, tight end, 6 bench spots, and 2 IR spots. I draft in the 5th spot. Any last minute injury news or advice, TD? I think you need to make sure you get a running back in the 1st round at the 5th spot, unless Jamar Chase falls to you. So I would say I think you should be trying to grab Bijan Robinson or Jahmyr Gibbs or CMC. To me, those are the best values in the 1st round. Wide receivers are good, but the only wide receivers that I really like in the 1st round, and this one of the guys is not really a 1st round, is Nico Collins and Jamar Chase. The rest of the wide receivers, to me, I think they could be getting overdrafted. CeeDee Lamb is okay. I think he's solid. I love CeeDee Lamb. I know he's a top 5 perennial, but you have RBs who's going to get all the goal line carries, and you have a guy like George Pickens who's going to earn some targets. So I'm not saying he's going to hurt CD as a top 5 guy, but I think there's better running backs on the board than to go with the wide receivers. Like, I'm fading guys like Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, not fading them as they are bad players. I just want to get to the running backs. I think the running backs give you great value. Cretch in the building. So, yo, what up, TD? Been doing tons of underdog draft the past week. I know, bro, you stay on underdog. You gonna smack for 100 grand one of these days. I promise you. I know you is, bro. You stay on top of it. Nifty in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Chris says YouTube. Yes, sir. So let's do it, guys. YouTube. What's good, guys? It's your boy TD, and I'm back again with another live, guys. And today's live is going to be on 24 players that you must draft, and don't leave without having these guys on your team. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, guys, let me know let me know if something's off a little bit. Joe says, is that a sunroof, or did you cut the whole top of your car off? It's a sunroof, bro. It's a sunroof. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Goshen Sarah says, what up, TD? Hope all is well. Yes, sir, bro. So listen, let's do it, guys. I'm gonna start with 24. And this is no particular order. You know, I don't really do stuff in particular. That Fantasy Network, what's up, bro? Coming to you soon, bro. Coming to you soon. Thank you. Appreciate your patience. Yes, sir. Yeah, it's spacious. Yes. Hey, guys, get old Spectrum 15. Get him out of here. Yeah, get him out of here. I wouldn't say nothing if he had made one comment, but get him out of here, guys. Can one of the moderators get him out of here on the Spectrum 15? Okay, let's see. Let's get going. Right. Sounds good. Thank you, Sports Dog. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Appreciate that, Tiki. Appreciate that. I'm very, very happy, bro. I appreciate that. Yes, sir. Okay, so the first guy I'm going to talk about, guys, is going to be David Njoku. Yes. David Njoku. And listen, let me tell y'all, David Njoku is a top 3, top 4 tight end this year. I've been telling y'all that for years, and I've always believed it. Now, the targets and stuff early in his career wasn't like, you couldn't count on it. It wasn't consistent. But now, when you have Joe Flacco, who made David Njoku into a top 3, maybe the #1 tight end for 6 games, Oh yeah, he's starting the season off. Even if Shadur was starting, or Dylan Gabriel, or Kenny Pickett, it doesn't matter to me. I'm going with David Njoku. He's a 6'5" guy who runs a 4.5, who's a monster, have a great radius with his catch radius. So I love David Njoku, guys. So this is the way I see it. First tight end off the board should be Brock Bowers. The second tight end off the board should be Trey McBride. And the third should be George Kittle. And the fourth should be David Njoku, depending on what you like. If you want to put Njoku over Kittle, I'm okay with that. Yes, sir. Okay, so let's move on to my number 23 guy. My number 23 guy is going to be Travion Henderson. Now listen, guys, I said if you go back and look at my rookie running back list that I made in the summer, early summer, before any training camp happened, Travion Henderson was my number 1 running back. Over Quinshawn, way over Quinshawn, over Genty. Yes, over Genty. Because Travion Henderson is very, very explosive. And y'all know how I feel about explosive players who can take it to the crib from anywhere on the field. Not saying Genty can't do this. Genty's going to be a really great back. I guess I can put great in there. He's going to be a really good back in the NFL for years to come. As long as he don't have any injuries, he can play. So, but as far as redraft and overdrafting Genty to win me a league, I'm not going to put that much on a Ricky's shoulders, right? I'm not going to put that much on a Ricky. But Travion Henderson playing with Josh McDaniels in that type of system where they use running backs out the backfield, and y'all can go back all the way from Ridley to James White to Kevin Falk. I mean, almost every running back that's been there has been a great pass-catching guy most of the time. And if they didn't have a pass-catching guy, they had LeGarrette Blount. The guy that came off the bench would be James White, who would have you a floor between 10 and 15 points for Tom Brady. So they are trying to teach Drake May some of the things that Tom Brady taught the quarterback room. So Drake May will be checking the ball down this year too, or Travion Henderson. Guys, Travion Henderson could be a top 3 running back. I know everybody always saying who can be top 3, who could be the number 1. Travion Henderson can be there. He's so damn explosive. He's going to catch passes. They probably not even going to put him on kick return or punt return because he's too damn good. And this is the key. This is what makes him ready to be a breakout from week 1. This is the key to me. And I'm not saying Genty can't do it. He can pass protect at an elite level. He's one of the best pass protecting running backs in the whole NFL. So to me, that tells me that the coaches are going to trust him and put him out there in third down and big time third downs. Even if it's a 3rd and 5 and they blitzing the hell out of Drake May, they're going to put Travion Henderson in there to help take care of the DN coming off, chip the DN, and then go out for a pass pattern. Also, they're going to be using the guys, lining him up at wide receiver and giving him gadget plays, manufactured targets, kind of like a Deebo Samuel. Yeah, they're going to use him like Deebo Samuel. Not saying he's Deebo Samuel, but they will use him and get him out in space like he's Deebo Samuel. And he will be getting carries from the backfield. So Travion Henderson, guys, to me, this is the guy that I said it's okay to reach on. If you want to take him at the end of the second round at the turn, I think that's a great position to take him because he's not going to be there if you got to pick at the end of the 3rd round. So you have to go get this guy. Joe, this is a Jeep. You remind me of a Jeep. Yeah, this is a Jeep, bruh. Yes, sir. And what you see behind me is my son car seat. I haven't took it out. Okay. Let's get the likes. How many people we got in here? We got 30. Okay, we got 30 people in here. Let's go. All right, let's move on to my number 22 guy. And this is a guy that you can call and say I'm biased. You can say that I'm going to always say this guy's going to be great. You can say whatever. But remember, I said this guy was going to be great before he was a Hall of Famer. I said he was going to be great 4 years ago when my channel first started. And it's going to be Tyreek Hill. Especially with Devon A-Chain having an injury, you got to give Tyreek Hill 10 targets. If Tyreek Hill gets anything less than 8 targets and they lose that game, oh, he's going to get traded. They have to. So to me, off the volume alone, off the 10 flat that he still runs at 30 years old, this is easy. This is easy. I'm not saying he's going to be the number 1 wide receiver, but as long as he can get top 12, I'm taking him in the 3rd round. And now he's dropping even to the 4th round. So Devon A-Chain, to me, will be okay. He will, still draft him at the right ADP. And I'm not talking about Devon A-Chain. He's not on this list because of his injury. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but Tyreek Hill tells me that he should be moving up the ranks a little bit with a injury to Devon A-Chain, because that's their safety blanket. No Jonnu Smith this year. Sorry, guys, if I think a food truck or an ice cream truck might be coming by, so forgive me if you hear the ice cream song. Father 3 says, real G's always keep a car seat in the back. Laugh out loud. Salute to all the fathers out there. Come on now, Father 3. But bro, I will be hitting you up, Father 3 too. I got your email, so I will be doing another listener league, and you will be getting the invite inside your email. Appreciate you, bro. Ant, what's going on, Ant? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well bacon, well chicken, well bucket. I don't know what that means, bro, but appreciate you being here, man. Everybody in here, I appreciate. Subscribe to the channel. This is cutting edge content. You're not gonna get this type of content everywhere. Let's move on, guys. If I don't get to your question right away, I will get to it. I don't skip anybody unless it's high, a lot of volume, and that's usually on a Sunday when we have to get ready for the games. But right now, if you want your questions answered quickly in the middle of me talking, all you gotta do is super chat. Pretty Richie, what they called him. Pretty Richie, what they call him, guys. Go make sure you sign up for this guy channel, man. Pretty Richie, me and him been friends for a long time. We will be doing some content together, so make sure you go follow my homeboy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, so my next guy, my number 21st guy, is going to be DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf, and reason why, guys, I'm on DK Metcalf. I was disappointed in DK Metcalf the last 2 years because he hasn't been giving me the upside of 30 points, 40 points. He's probably doing it like 2 or 3 times. Well, I would say twice a year. He needs to do it 4 or 5 times. But this is what's different this year. His ADP is actually where it should be at. His ADP is going in the 5th and 6th round. So what I'm doing, I'm grabbing CMC, Derrick Henry, and Travion Henderson, and Chuba Hubbard, and Alvin Kamara. And then I'm going to get DK Metcalf as my number 1 wide receiver. And with that, that's okay to have DK as my number 1 wide receiver when I have all of those types of players. No cap in my rap. No cap in my rap. I only told 30 some lies in my life. Right hand up to God. Strike me dead right now. I've only told. Now, if you want to talk about my dating life, talking to girls when I was a young man, trying to get them to go out with me and hang out with me, I told some fibs. But when it comes to me talking to my father and my mother and talking to anybody that's on my team and respect, I keep it real, bro. And my subscribers are on that list. I don't lie to my subscribers. We never will. Never will. But so yeah, guys, DK Metcalf. I think he has tremendous upside for a 5th, 6th round pick, and you get to stud out your team. So this is a robust RB high-end target guy. DK Metcalf ain't for everybody team. If you're going 2 or 3 wide receivers early in the draft, then DK is probably not the guy. You probably want to get a running back around that tier, right? Maybe one of these rookie guys. All right, let's move on to my number 20 guy. This is a premium handcuff that you got to have some of these handcuffs on your team. Got to. I don't care if you got 1 bench spot, so if you got 15 bench spots, you need to have handcuffs on your team. Now, I don't draft handcuffs to try to get them. I just, at the end of my draft, when I've got my team already made, then I'm trying to go get the handcuffs to make sure that I got guys who can, if somebody go get hurt, I can trade them or I can put them in my lineup. But I'm not going to target him just because I got no Kenneth Walker. I'm not telling y'all not to do that, but I don't target guys to backup plan. I don't have no backup plan. I live life to the fullest. Not saying I used to, but I learned by playing sports myself. Because, just like y'all may say, oh, look at this guy. He's weird. Da, da, da. I was a monster on that field. Go look my name up. Terry Good. I'm a monster on that field. But what I would tell you, that scared money don't make no money. So when the coach say, who want to do kick return? That ball looks scary, don't it? It's way up there, and the crowd is looking at you. And if you fumble, they're going to take you out. You got to volunteer for that. So you can't be scared when the play come to fantasy football. You can't be scared. So I don't need no plan. I don't need a plan B. I just need to make sure that I'm drafting the guys that I think has opportunities to evolve into a really true role. That's how I see it. But guys, there's 9 ways to skin a cat. I learned that from my father. My father was a very wise man. He was an older man. My father, I wasn't born until my father was 45 years. Well, not 45. He was like 40. My father was 40 when I was born. So I didn't get to play with toys. I got sat down and I got talked to about life. So, but this guy's going to be Braylon Allen. Braylon Allen from the New York Jets. I'm not touching no Breece Hall, and I call him Breach. I have a speech impediment, by the way, so I call him Breach. And y'all can laugh at that. I'm being funny, so I don't want my subscribers to say, don't laugh at him, he gonna get mad. No, I'm not. But yeah, Breach Hall. Guys, I don't think he's gonna be healthy the whole season, or he could get traded. But Braylon Allen is the goal line back, so why would I want to get Breach Hall when he's gonna be getting sniped for touchdowns? Like he's not a green zone back, so I don't want any back on my team unless I have to make that type of move that's not getting the green zone touches. And Braylon Allen to me is a better short yardage back. Now Breach is explosive. We know he can take it to the crib, but how many opportunities is he gonna have that this year? Maybe him and Justin Fields and all these guys can all eat. Maybe it's true. I don't think so. So I'm fading him in the 3rd round. But if he fall to me in the 5th or 6th round, then get him. But he's probably not going to fall to you. But yeah, Braylon Allen is the guy to get. He's going in round 8, 9. And that's tremendous value with a guy who's going to be getting goal line carries starting week 1. Starting week 1. Okay. All right, guys, so let's move on to my next guy. This is another handcuff guy that I think you should be targeting. It's going to be Zach Charbonnet. Zach Charbonnet. No, bro, my pops is not around. He died, Joe. He died. He died in 2019, and my son was born in 2019. And guess what, guys? I don't want to get esoteric, but you know this is my channel, so I mix in what I need. I think I need to mix in. My son was born like 2 months after my father. Well, he wasn't born, but we knew he was there. He was getting baked. 2 months after my father died, and you couldn't tell me that's my father reincarnated. Come on now. Come on now. I'm not saying. Well, things happen. I'm not gonna get into that, but yeah, I was like, wow, this is crazy. Rest in peace. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I gotta get a picture so y'all can see him. My aunts and uncles say that when he was a young man, he looked like me, but when he was 40, he had been through a lot. So I didn't think I favored him. But yes, Zach Charbonnet is my handcuff that I'm targeting. I don't believe in Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker can play. Kenneth Walker will always be on the team at his young age until he gets older, where he gonna play 6 or 7 games, maybe a little bit more, and have another guy to come in and help him because he can't stay healthy. He's already having load management. So Zach Charbonnet is the guy to get in case you might need a 3-week fill-in. It ain't about he's gonna be a league winner. It could be just a 3-week guy that you're renting, right? So I love Zach Charbonnet as a true powerful handcuff that can win you a league. He can win a quadrant for you. You got 4 quadrants in the season. You got the first quadrant, you got the second quadrant, you got the third quadrant, which is where the rookies start breaking out, and then you have the 4th quadrant with the fantasy football playoffs. All right, let's move on. My team guy is going to be Bucky Irvin. Now, listen, I do think Sean is going to be taking some targets from Bucky because they're not going to run Bucky into the ground. I do think Sean Tucker is better than Rashad White as a overall back, not as a pass catching back. Maybe they keep Rashad White just as a pass explosive. He reminds me of me. Like I was 175 pounds, but I ran like I was 205. It was guys that was bigger than me. Paul's like, as far as weight, 20 pounds over me, but they couldn't run harder than me because I hit the hole like a Tasmanian devil. And that's how Bucky Irvin runs the ball. I love that type of style. It's a great style. So yeah, Bucky Irvin is going to be BT. It's a lot of deals in that era. I mean, in that tier too. So it's hard to get to Bucky. You have to choose between Nico Collins, Bucky, Devon A. Chain, Derrick Henry, quarterbacks, tight ends, Brock Bowers, Trey McBride. I'm telling you, that second round is the roughest. You got a lot of players to pick from. But Bucky is a guy that I have to mention right now. I didn't mention him in my first video. Not that I don't like Bucky. I just think it's better values on the table. As you can get so value to making a pick, so opportunity cost that you miss out on the best player. But Bucky is an elite player. Prince is a beast in his own right. Rashad White will keep Irvin healthy. Or Sean Tucker. I really believe in Sean Tucker. Darby Gonzalez says Ray Thornton Jr. is a breakout waiting to happen as a rookie. He is a 6'4" type DK Metcalf, Calvin Johnson type who can make big plays. That's the guy that I've been talking about for a little bit. I was nowhere the first guy on him. Usually on guys like that, I'm usually the first guy on them. I wasn't the first guy on no Dante Thornton Jr. But since I've been watching him in camp and hearing other channels talk about him, I have to talk about him. And he's a good player. So that's a guy that you need to be having and stashing at the end of your bench. He's for a different video. He's a stash player. And, bro, all these players can be in different... You know, you can't put Bucky Irvin as a stash, but a lot of these players are all stash, bro. They all stash guys, right? It's a lot of different categories that you can put players in. Pretty Richie says, click the like button, everyone. Cutting edge content here. Yes, sir. All you got to do is go up to the top right corner and hit the 3 dots. And you can hit the like button or double tap the screen. Horton from Seattle is nice too. Yes. I will get to that later, Jaron. Just let me go through my list and I'll get to that later. Okay, so we did Bucky Irvin. Let's move on to a tight end. This is a number 3 tight end. I believe this is George Kittle. This is George Kittle with no Deebo Samuels. And let me tell you, I've already said this in the video. The reason why George Kittle could go for 1,000 yards with 10 receiving touchdowns this year is Deebo and George Kittle occupied the same spot on the field as their superpower. Their superpower is running between the linebackers, crossing routes, yak. So George Kittle is that's why George Kittle is a Hall of Famer. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer to me. The reason why I champion George Kittle, he didn't mind blocking to let Deebo get that and let Deebo get his $100 million deal or whatever they paid Deebo. I think Deebo got paid like $60 or $70 million guaranteed, $100 million with bonus money. But George Kittle said, I'm gonna let Deebo eat. Just put this. I go out when Brock Purdy need me, doing round the red zone, round the green zone. But other than that, let Deebo eat. So now Deebo's been gone for the last he's going to be gone, but for the last 2 to 3 years, they sniped each other. Now, no more sniping. Ricky Pearsall, yes, he's a phone booth guy. He can go either way, but he's not going to be occupying the field where George Kittle is. Ricky Pearsall is going to be more on the outside, so where he can stay healthy. George Kittle is going to be eating 8 catches a game between the linebackers. No linebacker can run with George Kittle. He can stiff arm you. You know, y'all know he's explosive, and he's a great blocker. I gotta keep mentioning that. That's why he's a Hall of Famer. So George Kittle, guys, is my number 3 tight end, and I'm taking off the board. Tight ends are very important this year. There's only 4 of them that we can trust. There's only 4 of them that we can trust, and I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you right now. That's why you tune in to Fantasy Good Sports. That's why you hit the like button. That's Trey McBride, Brock Bowers, George Kittle, and David Njoku. Now, some really great values like Tyler Warren, Isaiah Likely, but that's for another video. As far as the studs, it's only 4. Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on to my number 16 guy. And this is a wide receiver from the Baltimore Ravens, and it's going to be Zay Flowers. Guys, the phone booth guy, just like Ricky Pearsall is a phone booth. There's a lot of phone booth players in the NFL. That's how they draft now. They're looking for guys who you can't stay in front of and man-to-man coverage. And that's going to be Zay Flowers. So he's going to be getting them underneath targets from Lamar, where Lamar is throwing them damn dots. So Zay Flowers, guys, I know you don't want to think so. You're worried about Derrick Henry. You're worried about Lamar. You're worried about all these other Mark Andrews. Don't be worried about that. Zay Flowers is the alpha. Now, is he Jamar Chase alpha? I don't believe so. But is he a tier down from Jamar Chase in that group with like a Wes Welker, Julia Elderman, a Tyler Lockett? Yes, he is on that level. He is 1,000-yard type receiver. So I'm not gonna. Oh, well, he's too small. Come on now, don't miss it. Because if he don't get hurt last year, he's a top 12 guy. I disagree, Alan. I disagree. But hey, only time can tell, right? Appreciate you being here, bro. Yeah, I think Zay Flowers is is a guy that I'm drafting as a number 2 wide receiver or number 3 wide receiver in a 3 wide receiver league. Zay got tremendous value, and nobody's on him right now because they worried about all the other things that's going on, all the weapons there. Baltimore has great weapons on that team. They got like what 2 or 3 Hall of Famers playing on that team. Derrick Henry, Lamar, and Mark Andrews, potentially Hall of Famer. All right, let's move on to my number 15 guy. And my number 15 guy, this is the reason why I've been fading Amon-Ra St. Brown, not as a I'm fading Amon-Ra not as a bad player, but more as I don't think that he could be the number 1 overall wide receiver. And I still could be wrong. That's just my assessment, but I still could be wrong. But I'm telling you why, and it's Jameson Williams, who's going to be making big plays. And if you go to the playoff games, the last 2 years, Jameson Williams has been the number 1 guy on that team in the playoffs outside of Jahmyr Gibbs. It's been Jahmyr Gibbs and Jameson Williams. Amon-Ra been playing well. He's catching the ball. Who's taking the top off the defense? Who's running the in and around for 70 yards? Who's running the deep ball or deep post and catching it and scoring? Not saying Amon-Ra can't do that, but that's not his game. And Jahmyr Gibbs. So this year they got to put points up. They can't go and try to take 15 play drives to get down the field. No, you're gonna have to take a shot. And who you gonna take a shot with? Jahmyr Gibbs and Jameson Williams. That's why I'm drafting Jameson Williams in round 6 or 7. So you know what? 2 wide receivers that I can't stop drafting is DK Metcalf and Jameson Williams. These are my wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2 when I got B. John Robinson, CMC, and Derrick Henry, and Chuba Hubbard, and Alvin Kamara, and James Conner. I've been drafting a lot of those running backs. Those are my running backs. Okay, so y'all know Jameson Williams from the Detroit Lions. I think he's gonna have his crazy breakout. Thank you, Richie. Thank you, Richie. Come on, moderators. You don't let people like ruin the chat. If I made you a moderator, I need you to go in there and delete when you see some crazy stuff in the chat. If it's got to be crazy now, it's got to be crazy. Delete that stuff. It slows things down, and when I read it, I have to recalibrate and know what's going on. Even should I address it, don't address it, and keep my same spot. So thank you, Richie. And I will get to everybody comment. I'm not gonna skip anybody. So once I'm done with my list, I will go down from 1 to the last comment, and I might skip over for my members. So make sure you sign up as a member of the channel. All right, so my next guy is gonna be, my number 14 guy is gonna be Terry McLaurin. Yes, Terry McLaurin, guys, and I love Terry McLaurin. And the reason why Terry McLaurin is one of my favorite guys is because I have to stand corrected. I was kind of fading this team early in the season, but Jaden Daniels, what I've been seeing from him in the preseason, how calm he is in the pocket, how he's not worried about nothing, I know what that is, and I can't disrespect him anymore. And I'm not saying I'm disrespecting him, but I haven't been drafting him. But Terry McLaurin is the only wide receiver on this team who can run the route tree. I'm talking about comebacks, in cuts, deep balls, 7 route screens. He can do it all, so they need him. And Debo is he's a great player. Debo is a yak king, the best yak guy we ever saw in the NFL probably. But he can't run comebacks. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's not his route tree. He's not a prototypical wide receiver. He's more of a gadget guy in the rounds, give him the ball out in space. So who's going to be the other guy? It's got to be Terry McLaurin. So Terry McLaurin will get a deal, especially if he comes out and has a big game week 1 and week 2. They need him to win a championship this year. They actually are in championship mode. Nobody wants to talk about that, but they are. The Washington Commanders are in championship mode. All right, let's move on. My number 13 guy is going to be Chuba Hubbard. Yes, Chuba Hubbard, guys. And listen, all I can tell you is I'm from Carolina. I watch a lot of Carolina. Chuba Hubbard, guys, is going to be the bell cow on that team. I knew it last year because Miles Sanders is just not a bell cow like that. So he's getting all the green zone touches. You have Bryce Young. You have to control the line of scrimmage. You have to control the line of scrimmage when you have a quarterback like Bryce Young in the NFL. Once that run game get going, then they're going to be able to do all the little things with Xavier Leggett, Jimmy Horn, those type of guys. But they have to get the run game going. So Chuba Hubbard is going to get all the carries. He might lead the league in carries. He may get 25 carries a game. He had a game last year where he almost had 30 carries against the Philadelphia Eagles, and they almost beat the Philadelphia Eagles. If he don't fumble, they win that game. Rico Dowdle, I don't think he's going to be, I don't think he has a chance to take out Chuba. No way, no how. That's just my 2 cents, Richie. No way. That's what, and it was kind of the same thing with Miles Sanders last year. But this, I'm like, nah, man, Chuba the guy. And then next thing you know, Chuba went from the backup. This is all in like 2 months, bro. He went from a backup to starting to a deal. They wasn't gonna get this dude a deal because he was playing unbelievable, man. He's playing unbelievable. That's that Chuba Hubbard. What we've been watching is Chuba Hubbard from Oklahoma State, the Heisman candidate. All right, let's move on, guys. My number 12 guy is going to be Chase Brown. And listen, I know I hate saying this, but he could be the #1 overall running back. This is a team that's going to be putting up 30-point, 40-point. 30-point, 40-point. And so when they putting up 30-point, 40-point, Chase Brown probably going to have 2 touchdowns. It ain't just going to be T. Higgins and Jamar Chase with all the touchdowns. Chase Brown will be getting those goal line carries. And guess what? Chase Brown is a good green zone running back. He can score. Like, he's like over 200. He 205, 210, built like a statue or whatever. So this guy can play. So he don't think he just no gadget back where he got to get the ball out in space. No, he can run between the tackles and he can catch passes. This guy's okay. My bad, guys, about that. The phone got hot. Being in the car, the sun was on it. So my bad, I apologize. All right, y'all give me a second, guys. Give me a second. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. All right, so where was we at? We was with Chase Brown. So yes, guys, Chase Brown could be the #1 overall. No, it's not you, Perfect Black. It was my phone. It got hot. So, guys, Chase Brown could be the #1 overall running back. He's going to be in the green zone probably more than any other running back in the whole league outside of Derrick Henry. Trying to think of some of the really elite offenses. He probably on the most elite offense. So I'm taking Chase Brown in the 2nd round, guys, on almost every single time I come around that turn, just depending on my bill, right? I was getting him in the 3rd round. You can't get him in the 3rd and 4th round anymore. You can't get him in the 3rd and 4th round anymore. You have to actually get this guy in the early second round. So you choosing over a lot of really good players right there. But Chase Brown is going to be worth it, guys. To me, he's going to be healthy. If you go back and watch when he was at Illinois, he took on 300 carries and never got hurt. The last 2 years of his career, he took on 300 carries and was available. He's made for this. The only thing that worries me, and this has nothing to do with fantasy, is him getting a deal. He's with Cincinnati. They're not going to want to pay him. They already paying Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow and T. Higgins a bunch of money. They won't pay nobody on their defense. So that's the only thing about Chase Brown, him being there for long term. But as far as this season, this is going to be an elite guy. So know what you're looking at. Know what you're getting. He ran a 4.3, low 4.4 coming out of college. Strong. He bench pressed 225 a bunch of times. He can catch the ball. He got great hands. He got great moves in the phone booth. He can make guys miss in a phone booth. And guys, when I say, hopefully y'all know what that means. This in football, that's important. You're not going to be having a big, like 10 yards of making somebody miss. Usually you got to make somebody miss, and it's like a phone booth. You remember back in I know a lot of you are young, but we used to have phone booths. I remember this. I'm going to a party. I got to stop at a phone booth to call the person that I'm going to, the party that I'm going to. Just ask them, how do I get to their house? We ain't had no MapQuest. We had a map at the store, or you took 18 Highway East until you got to exit 322. So what I'm telling you is a phone booth is a little area, guys, that you used to have to use the phone in, and you can make somebody miss in a little area. That's special. That's NFL type talent. That's NFL type talent. Okay, let's move on. My next guy is going to be Kyron Williams. Yes, Kyron Williams, guys. I'm taking him in the 3rd round. I know a lot of us are worried about Matthew Stafford. I am. I'm still worried about him. But I'm not going to mess up my draft just because Matthew Stafford might have a back injury. He might not be able to finish the season. I still got to take Kyron Williams in the 3rd round. This is a perennial type touchdown maker. This guy's special. He can smell the red zone. He can smell the green zone. He can smell the touchdown. That's why they give him the ball. He can get in there, right? So I love Kyron Williams for his value, and I know he's a touchdown making machine. He's not going to have 70-yard runs, and he's not going to catch 7 passes a game. But what he's going to do is probably have a touchdown a game. And when he don't have the touchdown, he's still going to give me a floor of like 12 to 15 points because he still is very involved in this offense. What's up, Big Will? He says, what up, bro? Thoughts on Brian Thomas Jr. this season? I'm really high on him and love his game. You called it last season about him. Yeah, man. I'm definitely kind of fading him. I'm buying low on him in Dynasty, but I'm fading him in redraft. It's because, man, of Trevor Lawrence, man. I don't trust Trevor Lawrence. But I do think Brian Thomas will be okay. I do think he will be a good 3rd quadrant, 4th quadrant. Maybe they bench Trevor because I don't give a fuck what they paying Trevor. They don't care about that. They will bench you if you can't get their weapons that they know is good and you're not throwing them the ball. You can't get them the ball, they will cut you or bench you like they did Deshaun Watson. So don't think if Deshaun Watson can get benched, Trevor can get benched, even though it's not a race thing, right? You can be benched. So that's why I'm not talking a lot about Brian Thomas Jr. this year. Love him as a buy low in Dynasty right now, but I'm not taking him in redraft. It's just too many good players around that ADP. All right. Let's see here. What's my next guy? My next guy is going to be James Cook. Now, I wasn't fading James Cook, but I didn't want to play him if he wasn't going to be practicing. But he went on and got his $30 million and came out practice. Way to go, James Cook. Way to get that deal, bruh. And guys, this is explosive. This is an explosive guy. You know who James Cook is? Y'all not going to want to agree with this. He's a poor man Derrick Henry on Baltimore Ravens. You got Josh Allen beside you. You got Josh Allen beside you. I'm going to say it one more time. You got Josh Allen beside you right now. Listen, you give me 6 months to work out, I can score 2 or 3 touchdowns if you put me beside Josh Allen. I said what I said. And so is a couple of you on this live can score beside him. That man, listen, he a beast. So the defense, the linebackers, the DNs, they got to stay home. They got to worry about Josh Allen taking the ball and running them over, diving over the defense or throwing it. So James Cook, that's why he had 15 rushing touchdowns last year, and he's going to have another 15 rushing touchdowns, and this is a running team. Everybody keep talking about Khalil Shakir and Keon Coleman. They are good players, but they ain't getting the ball like that because this is a running team. They want to establish the run, and then they'll let Josh Allen cook when he need to cook. What's happening, the reason why they changed it up, he was trying to cook every game. I'm going to cook, and I'm going to cook, and I'm going to cook. And basically people get tired of your cooking. They get tired of eating the same food all the time, and then you start making mistakes, trying to overdo it. And so he needed a good run game. That's why I like James Cook last year. Now this year, they're going to give him the ball again. And that's going to help take off pressure for Josh Allen. And when he needs to cook, he'll be able to cook. And you won't be able to see it coming because you won't be able to look at any that they've been playing because they're not going to play that style. They're going to play more of a run, run it up the gut, dominate you at the line of scrimmage with those big offensive linemen like what they got like Dawkins and those guys. And so that's going to help James Cook where he's going to be getting – he ain't going to get touched sometimes and score a 60-yard touchdown like he did last year. He had a lot of big plays last year. All right, let's move on from James Cook into Alvin Kamara. And this is my guy. This is what I call Alvin Kamara. I might start doing individualized videos for the next 2 weeks until we get going. But Alvin Kamara is a game script proof running back. Nobody else is game script proof like he is. Now, some guys like CMC, but CMC, if they get blow out by 14 points or 21 points going in the fourth quarter and they can't win, they're going to take CMC out because they need CMC to be there when they're going to win games. But Alvin Kamara is not, he's not injury prone like that. So if Spencer Rattler throws 4 picks, guess who's still in the game? Alvin Kamara. Why would they take him out? We're going to save him? They're not saving Alvin Kamara, a 30-year running back, and they just gave him a deal. The deal was only like 2 to 3 years. So if you save him, you didn't pay him his money, and he ain't did shit for you. So they gonna be putting Alvin Kamara out there on the field, even if they winning by 2 touchdowns or losing by 2 touchdowns. Fourth quarter, first quarter. So I love Alvin. And a lot of you keep talking about, well, Alvin this and Alvin this. Don't you know it's 9 ways to skin a cat? Don't you know he can get to a top 5 running back or a top 10 running back just by catching passes out the backfield? And a nice run here and there. So this, I'm gonna give you, I want y'all to add up the points right now in the comment section. 6 catches for 45 yards. 6 catches for 45 yards. And then I would say 12 carries for another 50 yards. What is that? That's a top 5 RB. And he ain't did nothing special. It's just those catches, that 6 points. And don't let him score don't let that boy score a touchdown. He might be the RB1. And don't mess around and let Spencer Rattler or Tyler Show get hot. Don't let them boys get hot. And then now Alvin Kamara eating too. So I'm telling you, Alvin Kamara is game script. He's game script proof. He's not game script dependent. He's game script proof. You can't put them in a situation where he can't get no carries or won't get no opportunities. They won't. Let's get the likes up, fellas. Sorry about that earlier. Okay, let's get on to my next. My next guy is going to be a quarterback, and we just talked about him. It's going to be Josh Allen. Guys, I'm telling you, you got to take these boys at the end of the second round. I told you, I'm telling you, and listen, Josh, I didn't see Lamar took it in the first round. I told y'all it was coming. You all called me crazy. I never take a quarterback in the first round in a quarterback league. I never do it. And you better not do it either, because I'm going to call it out. And the only reason why I'm calling, because listen, I make mistakes too. We all do. But I don't sit there, when y'all give me advice, like Richie just said something I didn't agree on about a player. He could be right. I'm not right about everything. I'm always open-minded. But once I start getting an algorithm or a rhythm of what I'm saying is going on, then I'm going to chastise. Same thing about Shador. When Shador came out that first game, that's why I'm going to chastise some of you, because you need to grow up and be a man. Even though something might not look like it's going in your favor, you still need to stand 10 toes down. Don't wait till it's in your favor. That's a weak man. That's a weak man. I'm standing 10 toes down. I don't give a damn what's going on. Daniel Jones, I'm standing 10 toes down right here. I'm not saying he's going to be great. I'm just saying I said what I said about Daniel Jones, and I'm never going to walk from that. So don't wait till Shedeur Sanders have a bad game, and then you want to go in the comment section and talk about how bad he is. That's weak. And I'm not coming at anybody. So if you get wrong, you take it. You get mad at you want to. You don't got to come back to my channel. But that's facts as a grown-ass man. And I expect y'all to hold me accountable. I'm not going to run for nothing just because it didn't hit. I'm not running for nothing because it didn't hit. So, Josh Allen. Josh Allen is the quarterback that you need to be taking at the end of the second round. Because you're not going to get, I'm telling you, man, it's a bunch of guys out there, man, that's in the middle, and we don't know. It might be one, like Pat Mahomes. I feel good about getting him out the middle, pause. But I don't feel good, I don't know. They ain't Lamar, they ain't Josh. Now, listen, let me correct myself a little bit. Jaden Daniels might be up there, and I might be disrespecting him and Jalen Hurts. I don't want to draft him, though, guys. I'm sorry. That's just me. I don't want to draft him. I just feel like I'd rather have Lamar or Josh Allen. I know what they going to do. And guess what? Boys are tough, too. Josh Allen, one of the toughest dudes I ever saw. He like a Brett Favre. That dude ain't never getting hurt. I saw somebody bend his damn arm back behind his head. I said, oh, he done. His career over. That dude came back out there, put some ice on his elbow, put a little icy hot, and came back out there and was throwing the ball. And he told me, oh, my arm is not as strong as it was. Bro, you throwing it 65? You want to throw it 75? You want to throw it 75 yards? So, yes, Josh Allen, guys, take these guys. You got to get Lamar or Josh Allen. So I'm not even going to read. I got Lamar in this list, so I'm not even going to get to Lamar. But Lamar and Josh Allen needs to be drafted. That's the league-winning guys. And you can still good players if you draft these guys early. Because I'm giving y'all like Chuba and Alvin. These guys going in the 4th, 5th, and 6th round. James Conner. Just because a guy's old don't mean he can't win you a redraft league. You so worried about age, you missing the talent. I used to be the same way. Randall says, Spencer Rattler is winning MVP this year. Bro, I love cutting edge content. I love a person to take a bold take. I don't believe it. But I love that you standing 10 toes down on that, Randall. Pretty Richard says, Spencer Rattler to be comeback player of the year. Okay. All right, let's get to this list so we can get to these comments. The next guy I'm gonna talk about is CMC, Christian McCaffrey. Guys, I don't understand why you don't want to draft him at the end of the first round. Now, listen, I get it for the first 3 picks because he's been hurt. But listen, now maybe my mind won't let me see what y'all see. But CMC ain't had no terrible injury. He had injuries that you might say, well, what about him? Well, those 2 years that he missed, those injuries was like, I pulled my hamstring. Guys, I had hamstring problems. In Little League, I snatched my hamstring off the bone in Little League. And I was out in championship game. I had one play, broke for about 40, got pushed out of bounds, and snapped my hamstring off the bone. It happens. And then the next year, I met and get ready to go to the playoffs in Little League. I took my groin off the bone, not stretching properly. So those I can come back from. I didn't tear my knee up. I didn't break my arm. CMC hasn't broke a bone. He had a meniscus, like a little small meniscus fracture, bro. That's different. That's a meniscus fracture. Is like you bump your knee against a wall, and it takes you 3 to 4 weeks to heal. He's not coming back from that because they season was over, but he can still play. This is CMC, guys. I'm gonna chastise a lot of you, not because I'm right. Look at me. TD's right all the time. No, I'm gonna chastise him. Like, please make it make sense to me why you not trusting this guy at the end of your drafts. Why you want to draft? I'm not saying you draft Kenneth Walker over CMC, but you more excited about drafting Kenneth Walker than you is over CMC. You more excited about drafting Kenneth Walker than CMC, and CMC is a great value. This is the number one overall player 3 times. And he's going at the 110, and dude is like. He don't need speed. CMC all day. I'm taking him at the end of the first round all day. I don't need to read out 5-point yards, a carry, and none of that. I'm not saying that's bad for anybody to talk about that, but I don't need to do that. I just need to watch him play. And he's special. He's a Hall of Famer right now. He's a Hall of Famer right now. Conscious Machine in the building. What's up, bruh? What's going on, R. Jones? Okay. All right. My next guy my number 6 guy is gonna be Derrick Henry. Woo! You know what somebody did in the league that I drafted in yesterday? Somebody took Derrick Henry as the number 2 overall pick. And guess what I said? That ain't a bad pick. That's not a bad pick. That's a good damn pick. Excuse my language. He messed up my draft because I was looking to get CMC and Derrick Henry. That's my thing. I was gonna get CMC at the 1-7, and then I was gonna come back around and get Derrick Henry at the 2-3, 2-4. It didn't go down like that. Guys, Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry. Let me tell y'all something. Derrick Henry and CMC are Hall of Famers, and Derrick Henry is gonna break the rushing record. He's gonna break Emmitt Smith's rushing record. Let me tell you why. And I want you to hold me accountable for this. I could be way off. He's gonna play. Look, Derrick Henry, guys. His body ain't even beat down yet. Like when this dude is done with football, he's still gonna be in great shape. He's still gonna be on TV. He's gonna be a You remember the Gladiators? Like if you was in great shape and you retired from a professional sport, they'd call you on the Gladiators. They would call you in on the Gladiators. So Derrick Henry's going to always be in great shape for the rest of his life. Guys, he has no injuries as far as like a hamstring or a groin. He's never had a broken bone. He had like an ankle injury. This guy's going to play 4 or 5 more years. You know why? Because of Lamar. And he'll take the pay cut if he need to make sure he get the rushing record, which he's going to get all that money back from the rushing record. I got my homie in the building, Chris Villa. What's up, bruh? He said CD, CMC, or Neighbors with the 7th pick. Knicks in the 7th. I'm going CMC, bro, over CD Lamb and Neighbors. I'm going with CMC. Listen, the Giants is going to be a really good team this year. The Giants are going to be a really good team this year. Appreciate the super chat, Chris. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And guys, have y'all seen the new? Like, I want y'all to let me know in the chat right now. Have y'all seen the new booster video? Where you can like give it points and boost the video and make it go towards the algorithm. Why y'all ain't hitting that? I haven't been seeing my videos being boosted. Have y'all saw that? Let me know in the chat if you haven't saw it or you have saw it. Because if you're not boosting my videos, I don't know what y'all are doing. You come in here stealing content from me. That's something that's free. It's not no money. You haven't seen it, Randall? Yes. Yeah, it's the thing is you can boost the video. I know I see it all the time. I got on my phone. It's like I can just boost it. It's like 1,200 points, 300 points, whatever. I haven't seen it. Okay, yeah, Big Will, look down, go down in the bottom, man, near the comments on your phone. I think it's somewhere. If anybody have seen it, maybe you can help people out in the chat. But all you got to do is like, I got you. I know you do, Big Will. All you got to do is go down it around the bottom, around the video, around the comment section, around the description page, and it should have something that says boost or glorify the video, something like that. But anyway, let's move on. I don't want to hold y'all up. My phone is going dead, so I want to be able to get to the comments. I could charge it in the car, but that's why it got hot. Okay, my number 5 guy. Can you remember number 6 was Derrick Henry? No, number 5 is going to be Trey McBride. Guys, pick up Trey McBride. He's going to probably have 6 receiving touchdowns. He had more red zone targets than Brock Bowers and Travis Kelce. And he still didn't get a touchdown last year. Well, I think he had 1 touchdown. So if you put that 6, that makes him a top 15 player in the whole NFL, and it makes him the number 1 tight end in the game. So those touchdown progression is coming, not regression, because he didn't have that many. So progression is going to happen this year. Moving on to my next guy. We talked about Lamar Jackson, so we're not going to talk about him, but you got to get him at the end of the second round. You got to get those two top quarterbacks. It could be 4. It could be Jaden Daniels and Jalen Hurts. I don't have him on my list. Not telling you not to draft them. Number 3 is going to be Jahmyr Gibbs. I think, bro, this is the most. I would have said Bijan Robinson is better than him 4 months ago, but I'm tripping. Like, Bijan is nasty. This is Emmitt Smith and Eric Dickerson, or however you want to do it. I'm not doing a counter, or not a counter, but I'm not doing a comp to him. I'm just saying, like, these are 2 really good backs. Jahmyr Gibbs, whew, man, he's so explosive, man. In an open field, and then he can outrun people. Bijan is explosive, but he's not explosive like Jahmyr. Jahmyr can score a 70-yard touchdown. You can push Bijan out of bounds and run up to him. Both of them can make you miss on the phone booth. But yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs is special. I got him at the 1.7. I wanted to get CMC, but CMC went at the 1.6. So I went and took Jahmyr Gibbs at the 1.7. And I felt great about it. All right. And next is going to be Bijan Robinson. These are my running backs that I'm taking as number 1, number 2. So if you take Bijan or Jahmyr number 1 overall, I don't think it's a bad pick over Jamar. I just, listen, I'm a receiver guy. I've always been a 0 RB guy, but the quarterback needs to be healthy to make it happen too. Over a running back, it don't matter who the quarterback is. They still going to get off. So if Jared Goff, knock on wood, goes down, Jahmyr Gibbs can still have a top 5 year. If Bijan, if Michael Penix goes down, Bijan can still have a top 5 year. But if Joe Burrow goes down, Jamar Chase will not have a top 5 year. So that's the difference. That's what makes me want to go to a running back. And they're young. If they was like 6, 7 years in the game, I might say fade them and go with the wide receiver. But they early in the game. This is the time where you run them into the ground. Pause. And last but not least, man, this is one, and I want to talk about this guy, Emeka Egbuka. Hey, usually I call out a lot of receivers. I'm on this guy bandwagon late. Why? Because of Chris Godwin not being healthy and Mike Evans always having hamstring issues. He's degenerate. So I think Emeka Egbuka could have a Puka Nacua season. He can have a Puka Nacua season. Not saying he was drafted in the 4th or 5th round, but he was drafted in the 1st round. He can still have 1,200 yards with 7 or 8 receiving touchdowns. Okay, so let's go through some of these comments and so we can get up out of here. Joe says, what a sunroof. Okay. C.A. Jefferson, what's good, TD? And Sports Dog says, sound is good. Thank you. Tiki says, happy, laugh out loud. Thank you, Tiki. We got Kretsch says, what an actual rat. C.A. Jefferson got 1 pick, 4 PPR. Anybody you recommend over Chase? Yes, Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs. What's up, bro? Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan Robinson. Joe says, I can't get over that sunroof. What kind of ride is that? It was a Jeep. And Brian says, ask her. Appreciate you, bro. I take it. That's what it's supposed to be. Appreciate that, Brian. What's going on, Ant? Appreciate you being here. Well, bacon, well, chicken, well, bucket. Father 3 says, Will G's always keep the car seat in the back. Laugh out loud. Salute to all the fathers. Yes, sir. Ain't says, seen, demanding increase. Deserve thumbs. Answer, dog, dark. Dobby Gonzalez says, what's your team? I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. I love my Cowboys. DW says, Henderson in the second is ridiculous. Guys like Cook and Kamara should absolutely go ahead of him. Listen, man, what you're saying is not wrong, bro. I'm not going to go against you. But Henderson could be him. He could be like a Jahmyr Gibbs year one. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm not just putting him over Kamara and Connor and Alvin Kamara and all these guys. Chuba Hubbard. Like, he's like that, bro. He's special. That's why I'm telling you to get the guy. That's why. I'm not taking him early in all my drafts. But if I want him, I'm willing to risk that because he is worth that. He's going to be special. August says, good afternoon. What's going on, August? Appreciate you being here. Joe says, I wrecked a car in my 20s and got slung through the sunroof. They wasn't that big back then. It cut the bill of my head off. They found me 15 foot away. Wow, bro. Hey, you blessed, man. You are blessed. I think about that sometimes. Like, what if I go around a curb too fast and I flip? I'm probably not going to be here because the sunroof is open. Hopefully that thing is strong enough to keep it from crashing on top of me. Appreciate that. That was a good story, man. I'm glad to see that you came out okay. August says, football is finally here. Yes, sir. Oleg Jindota says, cap. I told you I don't cap, bro. Ain't no cap in my rap. Pretty Richard says, is Aaron Rodgers' health attached to Metcalf's ceiling, or are you concerned? No, he's the only guy. So even if Mason Rudolph comes in the game, they have to get him targets. Now, if it was like him and two other really good, like George Pickens, I wouldn't be talking about DK. Maybe later, getting him later, but he's the only guy. Calvin Austin can't take 10 catches. Roman Wilson, I don't believe, can take 10 catches. Pat Fry, I don't think is going to get 12 to 13 targets. So I think DK is going to be just the only guy there at the ADP. I think that's a great breakdown of saying why I should pick him. DW says, Metcalf, another busted pick. Hey, he could be, man. I'm taking him. It doesn't matter. I already got my guys. I got Bijan and I got Jahmyr. So if he busts, it's fine. I'll move on to the next one. Miss one, next 15, one coming. Alex says, Chase #1 overall in Superflex. Yes. A lot of people are taking him in #1. I'm taking Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen. W. Gonzalez says, what about Ashton Genty? I'm not really on Ashton Genty. I think it's a lot to ask for him to be a top 5 guy, but I do believe later in the season in the 4th quadrant, I do believe he breaks out. So if you can hold on and be winning until he does that, I think you got a special team. Kretz says, more drafters are getting skeptical or Tyreek, but I'm still flowing the gas. They skeptical because he isn't practicing, or beef between him and Tua, or how that O-line is looking. Just multiple reasons, right? Either way, man, he can get traded, and that'll be good for me and you both. No matter, as long as he's on the team and he's not suspended. That's the only thing that I'm worried about. Don't get suspended, Tyreek. Pretty Richard says, don't sleep on Isaiah Davis. He's an injury from being a strong flex play. Should Braden Allen or Hall get injured? He's big, all-purpose running back. Yeah, he did. He caught a lot of passes last year for Aaron Rodgers. Joseph, rest in peace, Pops. Yes, sir. Thank you, bro. Pretty Richard says, Zach Charbonnet has standalone flex play value as an RB1 upside should Kenneth Walker get injured. Preach, Richie, preach. Joe said, you'll see your Pops in your son. It's DNA. Pops will be proud, bro. Yes, I will see it for my son. I agree with that. Richie says, Bucky Irvin is a beef in his own right. Rashad White will keep him healthy. Also, Richie says Horton from Seattle is nice. Yes, he is. Torrey Horton. He will be on my Ricky video coming where they're talking rookies. Like, you got to keep making these videos. So it's a few guys that has evolved, and I think they might have a nice role in a team. So Horton is a guy that I'm mentioning. I think he might be the #2 on the outside, and they put JSN on the or Cooper Kupp in the slot. So it might be Torrey Horton #2. JSN, the number 1, and Cooper Kupp, the number 3 in the slot. Thoughts on Travis Hunter? He's special. Draft him at his ADP. Don't overdraft him. Don't reach. But yes, he's going to be a good player. He's going to give you some nice games. Tyler Warren is definitely a sleeper. That's one tight end I'm willing to wait late and get, and Isaiah Likely is another one. Allen says not a passing team. He's overvalued. Williams is better than him. I think we was talking about some running back, but I get it. I get it. Yep, click the like button, everyone. Yes, sir. Allen says, I agree. I read your mind. I have him in Dynasty. Doobie says, what about Jacoby Myers? Just another guy. He might be solid for PPR. In a PPR format, yes, he's a wide receiver 3. In a PPR format, where you getting point per reception. Doobie says T-Mac. T-Mac is good, but I think T-Mac is going to be fine. I think he can get 700 to 800 yards, 5 or 6 touchdowns in the green zone because he got that type of catch radius. I like Jimmy Horn to break out too, especially with them. Didn't they get rid of Adam Thielen, or they thinking about trading Adam Thielen? Big Will says, what up, bro? Thoughts on Brown? Okay, we did that one already. Bo Nix, round 6. Bo Nix, round 6 is good value. Bo Nix looks good. Bo Nix could be a top 5 quarterback this year. Reynolds says, shit out from New Orleans. Much love. Yes, sir. Shout out from New Orleans. Much love. Reynolds says, bro, Nix will have a nice year. 2nd year in Sean Payton's system with more talent around him. Facts. Conscious Machine in the building. He said, what's your thoughts on the Jaguars backfield? Don't hold nobody, Stash, Tootin, and the rest of the guys is just going to be, you're going to have to wait and see. I'm not touching anybody on that backfield. Randall says, 49ers just stole a legit running back from Washington for a bag of chips. I agree. Brian Robinson is a strong goal line running back. He runs hard. Art Jones, what's going on? Dante Kelsey in the building. Yes, 49ers got a steal with Brian Robinson. They did. What up, fam? Quincy Davis in the building. Reynolds says Buffalo will win it all this year with Josh Allen is a monster. Yes, he is. Reynolds says I never did care for Josh Allen, but he proved he was a dog. Facts. G says, what do you think about Pittsburgh this year? I think Pittsburgh is going to be a playoff team. I think they make it through the wild card, and maybe Aaron Rodgers wins a couple games in the playoffs because he's a veteran, and he's going to have a nice run game behind him. And stuff like that, right? They may trade for a running back if something doesn't work out between Jalen Warren or Johnson. But, yes, I do think the Pittsburgh Steelers will be good, and they have a top 3 defense. Big Will says, I think we're too cautious about drafting players in the first round like CMC because we've been burned before. Facts. But but he's going at the 110, 111. That doesn't make or break your team. You should get Derrick Henry, and then you should be able to get Chuba Hubbard and Alvin Kamara and all these other great running backs. So who cares if CMC goes down? Now, if you was getting him as a 0 RB target and he was the only running back that you could trust in the first quadrant, I would be a little bit worried too. Big Will says, I mentioned getting you on the Fantasy Pros video in the comment section too. Okay. Appreciate that, bruh. Appreciate that. Yes, sir. Conscious Machine, he love him some Gibbs. He been on Gibbs since he was a rookie. I got to give it to him. He been on Gibbs even when I wasn't on Gibbs. Because I said I didn't want Gibbs in the first quadrant, and it hit that way. But once Gibbs got going, that was the league-winning player. Kenny says, no busting fails for me, a.k.a. Justin Fields. No busting fails for me. Okay. A.k.a. Justin Fields. Chris says Chase and Henry in the 2nd round. I know you love both. Yes, Chase or Henry. I would probably go Derrick Henry. Over Chase. Yes, Chris Vila, I do like McLaurin. Kenny says, what's up, Titty? What's up, bruh? Yes, I do like McLaurin. I'm taking him in the 4th round, 3rd and 4th round as my wide receiver 1 once I went robust RB. Kenny says, Rattler the starter. I called that. Yep. We thought it was going to be Tyler Show. Paul Smith says, I say people are sleeping Sampson. I like Sampson. That was one of my guys. I will have him on a Ricky video. I can see him doing more of catching and yak with Flacco. Yes. Jerome Ford is RB1. I don't know. Sampson was getting snaps with the RB as the number 1 offense over Jerome Ford. Ridley versus Water versus Jamison Williams. I'm going Jamison Williams over both of those guys. So it's Jamison, Ridley, and Waddle. Kenny says still a atrocious offense. Sports Star said TD100. Thanks for the 24. I just might get Caleb Williams as a backup quarterback, like what I've seen for him this year, especially for that fourth quadrant. I think he's going to be really good for the fourth quadrant. He says, can you reevaluate the Bills? Can you evaluate the Bills and Raiders wide receiver rooms? So the only wide receiver that I want in a full PPR league, I would take Khalil Shakir as the safest pick out of the Buffalo wide receivers. For upside in a stash, I would take Keon Coleman. When it comes to the Raiders, I'm taking Deontay Thornton and Brock Bowers. But I will take Jacoby Myers for a safe pick, kind of like I was talking about Khalil Shakir. Just safe. You just need 8 points. That's all you need. Jacoby Myers can give you 8 points. But to me, I would rather have Deontay Thornton and Brock Bowers. Hit the like button, fellas. Yes, sir. B. Silver in the building. This is 49ers acquisition of Brian Robinson doesn't change your pick of CMC at the end of the first round. No way, no how, bro. Not even close. It doesn't even correlate. You got to have backups. Remember, CMC can go down now. But CMC ain't splitting no carries. And if he does split, it's only for maintenance. It would never be CMC, he's out the game and they on the 1 yard line. Ain't no, bro, I bet you that right now I cash app you $5. If they take CMC out, he's not hurt. And if he's injured, that's two different things. But we would never see a game where CMC's right there on the goal line with 2 yards to go and they take him out and put Brian Robinson in and snipe him. That ain't never happening. Now, if CMC, out, my finger, yeah, Brian Robinson coming in now. Kivo says Bigsby is the best running back in Jacksonville. They should trade ETN and keep Bigsby. I don't know what they're doing, bro. I would think so too. But they like ETN to catch the ball. I don't know what they're doing. So until I know what they're doing, I'm not touching nobody. Unless I'm at the end of my draft, like 7th to 8th round, I take ETN in the 7th, 8th round. Kenny 49 says B-Rod will only touch the ball if CMC is hurt or we're up by 20. Facts. You just said it, Kenny. Pretty Richard says David Montgomery healthy with Cap Gibbs fantasy season. No. Jahmyr Gibbs needs a deal, so they can't snipe him, bro. Now, listen, if they give him $70 million fully guaranteed early, he might be okay with David Montgomery getting some carries. You're not going to lessen his numbers to keep his numbers down near James Cook. James Cook got $30 million fully guaranteed. Jahmyr's starting off at 45, 50. So he's trying to prove that he's worth that. So he's going to get his goal line carries this year, which is going to be 10 touchdowns for him, and it's going to be 1,300 yards rushing. That's going to put him as a top 5 RB, and that's just the floor. That's just the floor. David Montgomery is going to get mad, kind of like Lindell White did. Like, man, I'm good too, because Jahmyr, when it comes to the big games, they're going to put Jahmyr and they're going to leave him in there because they got to go. They're trying to win a Super Bowl. Now, does that hurt Jahmyr during the regular season? I don't think so, because I think this offense is so explosive. He gonna get his early, and I'm gonna be okay with it. With those 18 to 24 points, he'll get it early. David Montgomery might come in and run him home. Chris says, love your opinion about Christian McCaffrey. Makes me nervous, probably going with CD or Neighbors. Got you. I understand it, Brad, and I love what you're saying, because you're going down with your ship, and I will not chastise you. You know why? Because you understand what you're doing. You understand what you're picking and how you're doing it, and you're going down with your guy. I cannot chastise that. You can't chastise that. You're not wrong for that. But if you're going, CMC, he's hurt, and I don't want him. Why? Because I don't want him, because he's hurt? He's going to get hurt again? That's poor analysis. That's not breaking nothing down. But you broke it down, bro. I don't got nothing to say about that. I always say it's 9 ways to skin a cat. Dixon says, wide receiver, Kirk, thoughts? Okay, guys. Forgive me about that. My phone went dead. I couldn't help it. I had to get out of the car. So hold on. Let me make sure that I didn't miss a super chat. Okay. So here you go, Chris. If you're still here. Chris says, where would you take McDaniel? You like Knicks in the 7th? I would take Jaden McDaniels. If I liked him and I wanted to draft McDaniels, I would probably take him in the 4th round. In the 3rd or 4th round, where usually quarterbacks will come off the board. That's where I would take him at. Yeah, it did. But I'm back, guys. I'm going to finish this up, and then we're going to get out of here. Uh, Conscious said I kept Gibbs in my 6th overall pick. What do you think about what do I do at pick 19? Irvin, Chase Brown. Go Chase Brown or Josh Allen or Lamar. Chase Brown or Josh Allen or Lamar. Sports Spotlight said, "Hey, I'm at pick 8 in a 12-man PPR league. Who do you think? Who do you like at that spot? It's a 3 wide receiver, 2 RB league. I like CMC or Malik Neighbors. CMC or Malik Neighbors. That's who I would take right there. Kirk says, is a safe flex play consistent due to Nico Collins' attention from opposing? Yeah, I mean, to me, it's so many other guys to get that has more upside than Kirk. That's why I'm fading Kirk. He's going to get some catches, but it's other guys. It's opportunity cost. I'd rather draft another guy who's going to give me more upside. Big Will, so are we reaching for Bob since B-Rob is gone? Yes, in the later rounds, yeah, you reach. So after you got your team, you trying to get Zach Charbonnet, I would probably take Bob where Zach Charbonnet, those guys are going. Those premium handcuffs. I think he's the most premium handcuffs of them all. And Crent says, you still on James Conner? Yes, I love James Conner as a flex play. I mean, he still can be a top 5 RB. And he may get nicked up, but who cares? Look where you get him at this year. The value is crazy. W says, number 5 pick, PPR league, RB or wide receiver. Go RB. Get Jahmyr Gibbs or Bijan Robinson or CMC. I'm not telling you to take Derrick Henry there. So if those guys are gone, we'll look for Malik Neighbors. Don't get no Justin Jefferson. I like Nico Collins, but it's a little early for Nico to go. I call him Bob, Slick Rick. There you go, bruh. Come on, bruh. I love you. You keep it real. But you are a corrector of a corrector. Like if I blink too many times, you're like, hey man, you supposed to blink once, you blink twice. But I love you for that, man, because you keep it real. You always stay to who you are. But I'm gonna call him Bob. I'm making content, man. I'm making content. All right, guys. Well, listen, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. I gotta go get me something to eat. Big Will says, I'm leaning Neighbors over Puka now. Yeah, Neighbors is over Puka. I agree, man. Listen, if Matthew Stafford is healthy, we're going to regret it, but that's okay. That's not going to be a bad decision. You got to make the best informed decision that you can make at that point in time. And Matthew Stafford is that's a difference. Like, if I'm weighing all the goods in the T-chart, Matthew Stafford pulls down Puka into the 2nd round because we know Matthew Stafford, if he gets hurt, it's not going to work. Big Will in the house. I say Big Will in the house. Watch your mouth. Slick Rich says, oh, blinking mofo. Yeah, bro, I am. I don't, somebody told me I don't even be blinking. I be like this the whole time. Because y'all know whatever I'm saying, I feel it. Appreciate you, Big Will in the house. Yes, sir, bruh. You and Chris Villa, appreciate the super chats. McDaniel. Wait a minute, who is McDaniel? Let me know, Chris. Who do he mean? Who is McDaniel? Where would you take McDaniel? Who is Mc? That's because that's not Jaden Daniels. So who is he talking about with McDaniel? Slick Rick says fading Puka for Adams. Nah, I'm not. If I don't get the Puka, I'm probably ain't gonna get the Adams. C.A. Jefferson says, so Bijan over Chase and 4 PPR? Yes, I would do it. Yes. Or Jahmyr Gibbs. Over Chase. Yep. Let's get the likes up, fellas. Get the likes up. All right, guys. Y'all be safe. Cutting edge content. You know it. I'm going to try to do another video tonight because I know, it's a lot of stuff that's going on. We need the information. I'm rocking with it. Okay. So I'm going to be trying to drop some more videos. So y'all guys be safe. I appreciate y'all guys, man. I love you guys. I love doing what I'm doing. This is awesome. This is a dream come true. I love football, been part of my whole life, been part of sports my whole life. And I get to come on and talk about something that I got Slick Rick, I got a little bit of knowledge about it, bruh. A little bit. All right, guys, y'all be safe. Peace.